Yo, what's up? Another episode of Nothing Nice with my boys. We got my boy over here, Mook. What's good, my brother?
Bang.
Always good to link with you. I got my boy over here, E, my brother. What's good?
What's going on with y'all?
E-man.
Yes, sir.
And I'm your boy, JB. Yo, first of all, how was your week? Everybody good?
Oh, yeah, definitely good.
Good.
Definitely good.
Same
Little
old, same old.
hurt.
A little hurt, yeah.
Good.
Got a little tough last week.
April been a rough month for me, man. I'm ready to see it go, man.
April, that's wild. So May was just as bad, huh?
Nah.
Nah.
You didn't go back too much, though.
Listen, April had to be hard in the mud. Had to go back. But yo, let's jump right into it, man. We got the playoffs, the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. They just came to their finale. We'll start with the East, a little recap. Boston pulled out the broom on Indiana. E, you saw it coming. Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I saw it coming, man. It was just time to put their foot on the gas. Yeah, Halliburton didn't play, but honestly, it just didn't matter. You know, I just felt like they was going to get the sweep, and they got the job done. So.
For sure. Mook, what's up, bro? Were you surprised? Talk about it.
Man, he's been messing up my takes, man. Halliburton, man, could have told the brother he was going to be out. You know what I'm saying? I gave my take, man, but it's all good. It's all good.
He was going to put that Reggie Miller
I was going to say.
So what made you think he was going to tell you that he was going to be out?
I think that's for me, that's kind of the annoying part. The annoying part. Because I really didn't see him get hurt. So for me, It's like, all right, you do all this trash talk and everything like that. You get to Boston, you gave it everything you had game one. You should have won that. You ended up losing. Now all of a sudden you can't play. You know, it's like that episode of Jamie Foxx when they were on the beach. It's like, everybody pull up a hamstring right now. It's like, we hurt.
He got that Paul Pierce injury. We don't know what happened while he was in that wheelchair.
Man, that was tough. But on the flip side, we got to give Boston some love, especially because you were hating on Boston. You
as a town,
next
as a city,
for sure. Not the team,
yeah,
but the city, you had no love for it.
Yeah, they worked. I ain't gonna say I don't have a love for it. I came there on some touristy type work stuff,
right.
So my mind was a little different than what I expected. I didn't expect to see Dunkin' Donuts in borderline Gotham City. So it's like it was just a little different from what I thought it was gonna be. However, what I will say is how they got the outside of the arena look like Times Square, so I will give God credit for that.
That's real.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of flipping, just talking about Boston. So we have Brown and we have Tatum. Both hoop. The team did good. Mm-hmm. So a couple things going into this next series. Porzingis, do you feel like him coming back is going to mess up the flow? And do you feel like Brown being the MVP of that Eastern Conference Finals over Tatum, is that gonna end up messing up the chemistry?
Yeah. Nah. I would say no
to both.
Porzingis in regards of the offense, he doesn't stop what Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown does. Okay. He's just there. I won't say a decoy. I don't want to label him a decoy because he's easily in a Cincinnati run. I could see him easily giving you 16 to 18 points. Okay. So I don't want to give him like a tag of a decoy, but that doesn't stop the 26 or the 28 that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can respectively get. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, it will just make them better defensively, of course. Okay. And spacing wise, because he can shoot the ball, so he's just more of a better addition. He's not addition by subtraction or anything like that. He's addition by essentially multiplication, if you really think of it from that standpoint. Okay. So like, he's a young. If you want to do the comparison, he's a younger, less defensive liability version of Al Horford. Yeah. So absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. Bro, what you think? What's your take?
I just don't think it won't hurt him. I think they're gonna smooth him back in. I don't think he's gonna play heavy minutes. They might play him like 20 minutes. Coming off an injury, they don't want to re-aggravate anything. I don't really too much see it being a problem with them coming back. Only thing he's gonna really add is more shot blocking at the rim, so that could always help. Ultimately, it's gonna come down to Tatum and Brown. And I stated again that Tatum and Brown would never win a championship together. And I was kind of upset about the Celtics winning, but when I seen Brown get that MVP, I started licking my chops. I was like, yeah, this gonna work in my favor.
They gave him 300 M's for a reason.
But it's working in my favor because they want Brown to be Batman. They want to be Robin, and they want Tatum to be Batman.
And what's happening?
And my thing is, you can't tell me that Tatum in the back of his mind, you're like, man.
I think he thinks he's Superman and Jason Tatum is Batman.
Nah,
or the roles are reversed. There's no Robin on that team.
Even in the show, even when you watch the show, if he want to do the Batman,
Drew Holiday's the Robin.
Drew Holiday is not even a Robin. Drew Holiday is one of them Teen Titans.
Who's the guy?
But he's one of the Teen Titans.
He's Flash. Like, he has to be Flash.
No, he can't Flash.
Or he has to be Cyborg.
Yeah, he's Cyborg.
I don't like the Batman Superman take. For one, I'm a Batman fan. So I think Batman is better than Superman.
The most overrated
superhero. I would say no.
But anyway,
I would say more of an equal footing because even though Superman has all these powers, there's a level of respect and adoration that Superman has for Batman that puts him on an equal playing field. That's why I say that Jason Tatum might be the Superman in the sense of he might be able to do certain things a smidget better, but there's a respect level that doesn't make him little wrong.
And that leads me to the point why Batman is in Gotham and Superman is in Metropolis. They ain't in the same city. Them two don't. Every time them two in the same area, they consistently bump heads.
Yeah, because I get what you're saying. I see what you're saying, and you're saying that might be. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't think that.
That's the point. I think
one of them. Justice League.
I think one of them is consistently having to take the back seat, and I just feel like that. I feel like to me they ain't compatible like that.
So do you feel? So you feel like Boston's at a disadvantage going into the NBA Finals because of how they play together, and you feel like what the mentality will be?
I'm saying to a point of. Just asking you guys, do you guys think that this Brown has accepted the role of Robin?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
not. And I think in order for them to,
but does he need to though?
But I think in order for them to win the big game, to win the championship, I think somebody needs to say in their mind they need to accept the lesser role. Not saying that they ain't the
okay. Do you
top
remember
star,
when Kobe and Shaq were together? Not the first ring.
That's not the same thing.
But the second.
Yeah, okay.
Kobe averaged more points than Shaq in one of the series.
But
no. But at
the same time, they were both like alphas. Now I'm not saying that they have the Kobe and Shaq feud that they have.
No.
But I'm saying for that. But like them both being able to work and like neither one of them looking at themselves or the other person as the Robin.
The reason why I say it's different is because they both came up in the ranks together. Even though Jaylen Brown came in the league before Jason Tatum, as Young Bucks becoming better, they did that against each other. It was it was an iron sharpened iron situation.
Yeah.
So it's different from Shaq being this superstar, whether it's on the court or off the court, going to LA, teaming up with a rookie. Than those two.
But
because the relationship was always like this, Shaq and Kobe.
But even when you say about Shaq and Kobe, it was clear that Shaq was the leader of that team.
Absolutely.
That team winning, Shaq goes. We tend to forget. I know Kobe was great, but we tend to forget that Shaq was the most dominant presence ever seen in the history of the NBA. So it was clear. Even though Kobe was
who's the clear leader of Boston?
We don't know. That's the problem.
I don't. But this is my thing. This is my thing.
We can have 10 different people.
This is my
you will get 10 different.
They have a really good problem from that standpoint because not every shot has to be trusted on Jason Tatum. I feel like give Jason Tatum the shots that Jaylen Brown made in that last series, and it might go to 6 games. It might even go to 7 games.
And here's why I say you say it's a good problem until it become a bad problem.
Yeah.
Because we've seen them get to the big game, and we've seen times where Jaylen Brown will be going, and then when you ready for Tatum to step in, he's trying to cut it on, but they just can't cut it on because so many times you'll see one of them say, "Okay, Tatum got a day," and they'll just start watching. And then when it's time for them to get active, you ain't been taking shots all day, so you really ain't in the rhythm of the game. That's why I said neither one of them have really just taken a back seat. Even I know you say Kobe and Shaq, but Kobe often deferred to Shaq. When it was time to get Shaq his touches, Shaq got his touches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as with Tatum and Brown, it's like, for me, I feel like half of the locker room is kind of divided because you like, some people probably saying, is it Tatum team? Is it Brown team?
I doubt that.
I don't really think. I don't really see a
full of vets.
Because I feel like sometimes with
the youngest. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I mean, no. But I feel like sometimes that when Brown is the focal point, they're a better team. They win even in the playoffs. You look at when Brown has had the efficient game and the dominant game, they have ultimately won big.
But you know why? Because the game plan was to focus on Tatum. So when the coach switches the game plan for the focus to be on Jaylen Brown, there's certain things that he does that Jason Tatum doesn't do in terms of tendency wise. Mm-hmm. In regards of Jaylen Brown will probably go more downhill than Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum might settle. Well, he used to settle for high 2 pointers, but now he spread that to the 3. But I feel like Jason Tatum's mid-range is just a little bit more refined than Jason Tatum's, but Jaylen Brown's ability to go downhill, I think he does that a little bit more than Jason Tatum. So it's like, now when you're going downhill, you're opening up the offense or you're going to the foul line.
So what I'm going to say is this. I definitely see both of you all's points, because when the rubber has to meet the road, who's going to be the alpha? Who's going to take over and basically end the game? Mm-hmm. At the same time, you have a great problem because you have two guys who have every capability to do it. So, which we'll talk about the Mavs, but the Mavs had the same thing. Two guys who are extremely capable to end the game or take over the game when you need them to. But for Boston, I think that what makes them special is that both of those guys could take over, but both of those guys also defend. So I feel like
and defer.
Yeah. So I feel like the fact that they look at each other and they've kind of built a chemistry within each other this season more than the seasons before. From just what I've seen, to where it's like they know when it's your time to take over, your time to take over and work. And no matter what, we locking up. And we're gonna make the defense switch the offense.
Because of take integrity, I don't see it that way. I say they won't win the championship. And
you standing on it.
I'm standing on it.
Okay, I feel you on that.
They 25 now. 25, 26.
25 and 26, that's up.
You can't tell me that you don't see it in the next 7 years.
That's a big take.
I just, I'm just saying, man, I just think they'll be better. I think they'll be better apart.
With new information, you can always change your mind.
I just think they'll be better apart. Yeah, I've seen them. We've seen them get to the finals. But you got to close the deal.
Real quick.
Yeah,
I just want to ask you a real quick question. Where do you think that Jason Tatum should leave or Jaylen Brown should leave?
I feel like Tatum is more marketable. I mean, you see Tatum with the Gatorade commercials. Right. It's clear that they've deemed that it's Tatum's team. I just don't think Brown got the memo. I mean, he do got the 300 million.
So who you sending? So you're sending who away?
You gotta send Brown away. Because for one, Tatum is probably more marketable based off what we've been seeing with the commercials and everything. I just feel like Brown needs his own team, especially this year. If they don't win the championship this year, it's going to start coming up more. And I just want to put it out there that I'm the first one to say it. So
So that's definitely food for thought. But hold on, real quick. And this is the last time we're going to talk about Indiana for a minute. What do they need? What do you think they need in order to get them over the hump?
They need to stay healthy. I think they need more shooters. Losing Buddy Hield, even though you get Pascal, you get the upgrade, and for player you get the upgrade. But you take a dip in shooting. I can't have TJ McDonald on the floor because he's a good shooter. You can't have him in clutch moments with him on the floor. He's a very good vet. He's a very serviceable NBA player.
Absolutely, I want him on the team.
But in regards of being a need for on the floor, he just doesn't check those boxes in certain moments. So and that's just for me. Maybe I might be tripping. Somebody else might like T.J. McDonald's game a little bit more than I do in regards of the need for the team. So, but I would say they need to get some shooting and just health.
Gotcha. What about you, bro? What you think?
Far as offensive wise, man, this team broke records for offensive efficiency. So I don't think they need too much on the offensive end. If anything, I would think they need a shutdown defender. Like somebody that can say, hey, I'm going to take the best guy and guard this guy. Whoever that is, I haven't really looked at the market of who will be available just yet. OG, but I think the Knicks are going to re-sign him. I think they're going to run that back with the Knicks. So I think that's their top priority. If anything, to get Anunoby signed, because we seen when they made that mid-season trade for Anunoby, the New York Knicks took off from that time. So I don't think he's going anywhere. Yeah. And I could see that's the thing. I could see a Paul George playing with them. I mean, I don't know if he's not quite the defender that he was back in the day, but he'll be a good fit for them.
I think it's two. I think there's actually two.
He'd be a great fit.
And you might be a little shocked at the two. The first one for sure, Paul George. Paul George going back to Indiana where it started for him. Unless he's like for real ring chasing. If he's not just like flat out ring chasing and he goes to like a team that's like already there, you just add him.
If he is ring chasing.
But him going to Indiana, I feel like that would be good for Indiana because as a defender, somebody who can create their own shot, take a little bit off of Halliburton, that would be great for him. He'll be in the same position Danny Green was when Danny Green had young Paul George. But then the second player who I would bring, just because of the attitude that he would bring to the team, which I feel like they needed, especially on defense, is Patrick Beverly. Because Patrick Beverly,
he can't be trying to shop.
Listen. So check this. I mean, if he says in Milwaukee, that's cool too, because I like the Bucks. But if Pat Bev, because Indiana, I feel like they didn't have like a real defensive identity.
So I see we going the same.
So so that's my problem with Indiana. They didn't have a defensive identity. It looked like an AAU game a lot of times when they played. It was just like, all right, we hoop, you can hoop, we all shoot. Yeah. We're gonna go out there and just try to outscore them. At no point were they like, you know what, hey, we gotta stop them as well. They're like, no, just keep shooting. You know what I mean? So just with that, with Pat Bev being like, no, we're gonna sit in this chair on them a little bit. Let's get a little rough with them.
I can see that for different reasons. Not because of I think he would bring anything to him on the court per se, but I just think adding that level of scrappy, because you really didn't see that. You never really see Indiana just mad. I mean, other than that, him putting on the pullover situation, like that just showed a little heart. You like,
and that was after the fact. You never seen a little heart.
But you never seen them like I'm mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never seen that.
The problem with that is when you have that smooth, silky game. Those type of people that have that type of game like that, they don't really showcase anger like that. Like Paul George, you don't really see him mad. You see him like
Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson. You see him react to what they do, but you'll never see them like even if they're not mad, you don't see passion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I could even see Kawhi in Indiana. I mean, I know he wouldn't go to a small market. Like, I know that would have
that man's way too fragile. When he's healthy, one of the best players in NBA history.
This is my thing.
That's a short window of when
Are we so sure that Paul George is not going to re-sign with the Clippers, and they decide to go with Paul George and get rid of Kawhi? I don't think both of them coming back. That's what I'm saying. For the Clippers, I don't think both Paul George and Kawhi is coming back. I think it's going to be one of those.
He signed a 3-year, $152.
So what year is he on?
Yeah. No, he signed that in the last year. He signed He signed it this past season.
Coming into this year.
No. During the season, he signed it.
During the season?
Mm-hmm. 3 years, 152, and they already said that they're not going to give you 152. They already told him, Paul George, you're not getting 152.
I missed that.
That's tough. Yeah. That's tough because Paul George.
Because he can go right now to Philly and get 4 years, 2 something.
Yeah, because
I just don't think him and Giannis would be a good fit.
You mean Joel?
Yeah, him and Joel would be a good fit in Philadelphia.
I feel like they would be a great fit.
I just don't feel like with that city.
So you rather
that city don't scream Paul George to me. Like I just don't.
Indiana didn't scream Paul George to nobody until Paul
George
arrived.
But
no, I think if Paul George was with Joel Embiid and Maxey, they're hooping.
Of course. I mean, you can put Paul George with anybody. He's that type of player. I think he can fit in anywhere. But I'm saying most effective, Indiana for sure will be a much better landing spot for him. I mean, the style of play, the way they get up and down.
He won't want to do that at 34. You think so?
But I think Halliburton do such a great job controlling the tempo and knowing his personnel.
Yeah, he can afford it.
I think that they would be a good match. And then Paul George is really not a star where he just like, I'm demanding the ball. You know, he'll play within the system.
He don't get paid like a star. You better demand that ball.
Okay, so just a quick jump.
I see what you're saying. He could be a Robin.
Yeah, quick. So just a quick jump then. So and this is kind of going out of order, but for Philly and for Indiana, because we have Jimmy Butler and we have Paul George. Yeah. 2 guys who, when they're in their bag, they're in their bag. Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, he's a completely different creative player.
Different animal.
So, so we have Indiana here, and we have Indiana, we have the Clippers, and we have Philly. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Butler, where do you want him to end up?
I want Jimmy Butler back in Philly.
Back in Philly.
I don't really care where Jimmy Butler goes.
You don't think it'll make a difference to the championship?
At 35, 36, I feel like those days of him pushing a team to any level
he's not pushing by himself, though.
In Miami, he was definitely pushing by himself.
Yeah, but if he went to Philly, he wouldn't have to push by himself. If he went to Indiana, he wouldn't be pushing by himself. If he went to the Clippers, he wouldn't be pushing by himself.
Philly makes the most sense pace-wise. I don't think that Jimmy Butler's going to be running up and down the floor like his Miami Suicides. Like I don't see him doing that in Indy. I don't see him doing that for Indiana for 2 points up and down the floor. I don't know. I just feel a little weird about him working in that system because, like I said, I feel like they need more shooters. I feel like in a half-court setting, and which is the issue with Indiana, they don't have to me. And maybe because I don't watch a lot of Pacer games, but they don't have a lot of half court sets to where like the next guy can get 2 points, 3 points. A lot of the flow of their offense comes in transition, and it comes in transition of Halliburton having the ball in his hand.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Honestly, I think Jimmy or Paul George, if I'm trying to get anywhere, it would be Philly. Because Philly has shown the grit and the heart that they have, even with Joel getting hurt and still going out there dropping 40 on guys and stuff on one leg. Man, that's tough. So if I'm either one of them, I'm trying to make my way to Philly. And then if not Philly, then you kind of test the market and see what else is out there.
And let's not forget, the last time that Jimmy Butler was in a Philadelphia uniform, there was one Kawhi lucky shot from going to the foul.
I don't know why they don't run it back.
Well, at that time they chose Tobias Harris over Butler, which looking back, that didn't age well.
Even at the time, I was like, "Why is this happening?"
They should have just did both.
It was the worst decision they could have made.
Should have just
with the luxury tax, I mean, you couldn't keep both players.
Yes, you could have.
Because they also decided to pay Ben Simmons at the time too.
Go ahead.
So you couldn't pay everybody because they had MB coming down.
The Warriors paid Draymond.
But I'm saying
so the Warriors paid Draymond. They could have paid Jimmy and Tobias.
But here's the thing: you ain't gonna get 3 players on a max deal in their youth. And, when they
the Warriors
going into their prime.
The Warriors did that.
The Warriors literally did that.
But the Warriors was winning.
Miami did that.
But you can do that when you can go into the luxury tax when it's
Cleveland did that too.
championships.
We had Kyrie, we had Bron, and we had K Love.
I mean, when you producing championships.
But this is the thing.
I mean, you don't have being
this is the thing though. If I am a Kawhi jump shot that bounced 3 or 4 times off the rim from going to the finals,
and he traveled to get to
do
the corner.
you think that I'm not? Well, me personally,
we running it
I'm
back.
paying.
We running it
I'm
back.
paying because I know that if this,
100%.
I know that these collective of players, they're going to 10x my net worth. As an owner, they're going to 10x my net worth because I want to give them 140, 150, whatever, and then they're going to give me 800 back.
But here's the
I'm
thing.
good.
Ultimately, I think they did the right thing. They just chose the wrong person to pay.
Yeah, I mean, if you let Tobias go, you let him go. That's how I felt.
Yeah,
But,
they did the right thing. They just chose the wrong player.
Jimmy proved literally after that when he took Miami to the finals, and then when the
Twice.
like he proved like
I feel
you made
like
the wrong choice.
They started comparing Jimmy to Tobias
'Cause they had
when
to
they were
choose.
2 totally different players.
No,
you
for
had
sure.
literally the best Army Swiss knife in the NBA, and you had Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
And it's like both of them. Think back to when
But for
Nick Batum was got that big check from Portland. He was the best Swiss Army knife in the league at the time. He was a generational nobody for sure. You know what I'm saying? But he at the time he was averaging 15 plus a game, 5 plus rebounds a game, 5 plus assists.
he was like the
a
new
game.
Tayshaun Prince.
Nah, Tayshaun Prince wasn't averaging 5 assists.
Yeah, that's when he's got 5 assists.
And then giving you like 2 steals. So it's just like that was Jason Tatum. Look at me. That was Tobias Harris. And on top of it, I'm shooting 36 plus from the 3, and I'm guarding the best player. Like you're not gonna give that. So you may not give it 150, but you might get that 130.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, me myself personally, and there's no disrespect to Tobias Harris, I don't think he lived up to the contract since he's been paid. I think he's been going out potential since he's been paid that max contract. Ever since that one Clipper year that he played phenomenal and balled out and got that max deal, he haven't lived up to the contract since.
Well, that's
he every year he's underplayed the contract.
But he keeps being removed from the option of a player that he was. I think that when he was with the Clippers, what was he like, a second to a third option in terms of scoring?
Number 1.
No, he was the number 1 option. That 1 year with the Clippers. But here's the thing.
I'm tripping. He wasn't number 1 option. But then he went from 1 to 2. No, he went from 1 to 3 to 4. That can do something for NBA players' confidence.
Because you keep looking at him.
Okay, so just real quick, because I pulled up the numbers. We have in Philly 18, 19, 19, 17, 14, 17.
And that's my thing.
And just do the whole line. Do the whole line for this last year in Philly.
Last year, 17, 6, and 5.
And what he do?
He's a max player.
Oh no, 17, 6, and 3. My bad.
He's a max player.
And then with how many steals?
A steal.
Yeah.
But
Yes, sir.
That's not max player production.
But I'm taking Jimmy Butler still over that.
That's not max player production.
No, I get no. What I'm not saying to pick either or. I wouldn't do that. And I would say both.
That's in the regular season.
Because I feel like.
Oh yeah.
What's his numbers in the playoffs?
No,
they're
abysmal. They're abysmal because of the confidence.
It's every year.
Does not.
It's every year. It ain't like.
But when you go from literally the number 1 option to literally the 4th option on the team, there's shots that you would have taken as a number 1 that you no longer get a chance to take anymore.
So here's my thing. Before that, because I'm serious. I'm real passionate about this. Here's my thing. You don't think they don't want him to be a number 1 or 2 options, paying this man max money? Ain't nobody coming in and saying, I want Tobias Harris to be a 4th option, and I'm paying him like a number 2 option.
If he can do it, yeah.
Business-wise, of course. It would be a beautiful thing if he would step up to the 20 plus per game range. It would be a beautiful thing. However, you keep putting young people in my spot, and now you want me to go give you 20 when
they putting young people in the spot, or young people taking the spot?
No,
because Maxey came and took the spot.
Maxey took the spot from a scoring aspect, not from a I can do all of these things aspect. Everybody that he kept getting replaced with, minus Jimmy Butler, was a high end scorer. James Harden he came there to be a high end scorer. Of course,
can get rebound scores.
But I'm just saying, but he doesn't guard the best player.
Man, how many times you watch Tobias Harris and you forget he out there on the court?
Oh, that question.
All the time.
Oh yeah, because
I don't even know he on the court most of the time.
I'm just saying for my.
But you know what? All right. So let's put a pin in this. We'll get back to this during the off season because right now he's not even playing. Yeah. So okay, so let's jump ahead to this Western Conference because this was crazy. We all picked Minnesota to win.
Sad.
I'm not gonna lie. Something inside of me said, "Go with Dallas," because Kyrie, that's my dude for Cleveland. He shot the shot that got us our ring. So forever, I'm never even if I'm not going for Kyrie to win the game, right? His team to win the game. I want him to kill every time he plays.
You do know that there was more time on the clock after he hit that shot, right?
After it didn't matter. At that point, we're up 4. We're up 3. It didn't matter at that point. We're locking up. They're fighting for their lives. We'll talk about that in the offseason. Anyway, okay, so Dallas got the job done. Gentlemen's sweep. It was tough. Mook, you start out with this one, bro. Talk about what you saw in this series.
Man, they didn't listen to me, man. I sit there and say it time and time again.
What'd you say, bro?
Rudy Gobert is unplayable in this series.
That's fact.
Man, he was just too...
That's facts.
Man, he's moving in quicksand out there. Nas Reed should have started this series. I mean, really in the last couple games, if it wasn't for Nas Reed, man, what would the Timberwolves be? He's really been single-handedly keeping his team into it. And also I was looking at the game and, man, I don't know why Ant-Man wasn't ultimately super aggressive. Yeah. I feel like he had to average 30 points a game for them to win this series. Him hovering around the 23, 25 points a game wasn't enough. He needed to be around the 35 to 40 points to get these guys to win this ball game. I feel like when he's ultra aggressive, the team plays much better. And I mean, the reason why he can be that way is because you got a leader in Mike Conley who's going to get the ball to the right spots in the right places. And between that, him not being ultra aggressive, and them not benching Rudy Gobert, I feel like it was just a disaster in this series.
Another thing we didn't talk about is the performance of one Karl Anthony Towns. I got a nickname for him. I just want to try it out with y'all.
Yeah, what you got?
I'll call him Karl Anthony Fouls. That's player.
I rocks with it.
Karl Anthony Fouls.
All right, tell me more.
Oh yeah, always. It's just like you know what? I ain't gonna do all that. But it's just like he's just become unreliable defensively because he's fouling so much. It's like he's getting into foul trouble early or he's getting into foul trouble late. So now, like, certain defensive stances that he should be able to take, he can't even take. It's like, it makes sense to why this Game 5, he was hovering around the perimeter guarding folks at 7-1. It's like, because you foul a lot. Karl Anthony Fouls. Stop it. But on another take about Karl Anthony, he wasn't aggressive. He decided that he wanted to utilize a game of finesse versus a game of power, because although you can shoot threes, like Game 4 when you shot 80% from 3, you did good. You rely too much on your ability to shoot threes that it's you're living by the three and dying by it, as opposed to letting the game come to you a little bit more. You're playing really, really soft. Actually, this series played really, really soft. He's out here trying to do tough layups. Like, he's out here like up and unders. Like, you got the link to just dunk on everyone, but instead of dunking the ball,
let me see what this finger roll.
Yeah, what's up? I don't care about how your English look. I don't care about how your English look. I want to see you put somebody in the blender and dunk on them. You did it in Kentucky. You did it your first couple of years in the league. And for some reason, you think that this version of yourself is good. It's not. It's no reason why Ant-Man should... No, there's no reason why Karl-Anthony Towns should be one of the most skilled big men to ever play in the league. When you came into the NBA, he was projected to be a 25-10 guy, and all you do is shoot threes. What?
Bro, okay. So y'all just give me a minute for this one, because I don't even know where to start. Well, I do know where to start. Firstly, for Ant, just to get that out the way, I feel like this was a learning curve for him. This was his first real run in the playoffs. Made it to the Western Conference Finals. He had,
by the way.
Yeah, he had averaged a little more than 25 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Good showing. He'll learn one, that he has to have better conditioning. For sure, he has to push himself harder. So he has to have better conditioning, and then he has to flip that switch to like turn it on and say, all right, forget everybody else. It's time for me to go into strictly attack mode. If I get to try to get to this line 15 times, if not, I'm dunking it down your throat. I'm not talking to the ref. I'm playing physical. Like, I'm trying to strike fear in the boys' hearts. Ant will learn that. He's 22. I feel like he has that dog in him to where he'll get that together. So that's Ant. Cat has to. It's what you saying, bro. Really. What you saying, bro, is facts. Cat has. I feel like the first call that he should make, since the playoffs for him are over, the first call he should make is to Hakeem the Dream. For this reason, in Game 3, he tried to go down to the block. He tried, instead of trying to go perimeter, shoot threes, and drive that way, he tried to go to the block. But when he gets to the block, it looked like he had 1 to maybe 2 moves. With him getting footwork from Dream, I feel like him being able to get that, put it on this arsenal on the block, will help his game tremendously for when the threes aren't falling. Because he wants to be, he's so hell-bent on being the best big man three-point shooter in the history of the NBA that he's like, okay, I missed 5, but this is a 3 that's going to go in. 0 for 6. So when that's not working, he's like, okay, I can for sure get to the block. Because what did we see with Bron? When Bron saw Hakeem, when Kobe saw Hakeem, when all these players saw Hakeem to lend the footwork to be able to have a real post presence, they were able to do that. And you have Cat, who's 7'1", who can do that. Now he can do the fadeaway, the layup, or the dunk, because he'll be there. For sure, he has to be more physical. I am not going to go against that at all. But I feel like he should hit up Hakeem so that way he can work on that post game. And then, hold on, bro. Lastly, Rudy Gobert, because y'all know how I feel about this man. He is a fraud and a disrespect to the Defensive Player of the Year MVP trophy. I don't care. Rudy Gobert, he wasn't playable. Like, I told you, he doesn't guard the hardest position, but you made a point. He didn't make it on here, but he made a point that, okay, with Rudy Gobert, he ends up getting switched on to whoever the point guard is, so he does end up guarding the point guard. And what do? Cook him. That man is out here like French toast. Easy to cook. That man is out here like French braids. Easy to twist. Either way, this French man has to learn how to play defense, because this is getting ridiculous.
It's not that he can't play defense.
No, he just can't play it well or well.
It's not that he can't play defense. I feel like there's a weird place trust in switches in regards to him and playing against literally the NBA league leader in scoring. I don't know where the trust is from Minnesota's standpoint.
How many excuses can we make? Because if we make an excuse when he played Dallas because he's getting switched on to Luka or Kyrie. We made an excuse when he saw Denver because he's playing Joker. You're in the playoffs. You're going to guard whoever you're going to end up seeing.
I said it's a misplaced trust. I'm not making it an
Okay, cool. So you're saying that we have no reason to put our trust in this man. Okay, I'm sorry, those defensive players awards have really pissed me off. And
this one I don't feel like he should have gotten, but I don't know who should have gotten it.
Wemby is the only answer.
But
outside of Wemby, yeah, for sure.
But here's the thing. To piggyback off what both of you guys said, both of you guys made really great points. If I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves front office, I'm bringing in Elijah Warren. I'm bringing in somebody to work on our back to the basket packages, because it's never, from what I've seen in this Dallas series, they could never just go get an easy bucket unless Ant-Man did something off the wall.
Right, jumping up the gym.
Yeah. So it was no easy baskets for Minnesota in this playoff series. They could never just say, "Hey, Cat, put them back to the basket." Even when Dallas decided to go small, they couldn't even take advantage.
Yeah, because there's one time he had Kyrie on him and he
right.
still couldn't take
They
advantage.
couldn't even exploit it because the dude got no back to the back package. I think that'll ultimately be the growth of Cat this offseason. He's already a shooter, but I think he do need to get with somebody. If I'm him, I'm reaching out to Jokic and I'm like, "Hey man,
Absolutely not. I call Hakeem. You can't call you.
I wouldn't reach out to Hakeem from the standpoint of the footwork that Hakeem Olajuwon possessed didn't come from basketball. It came from soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, we're not gonna tell Cat to go play soccer.
No. I got that.
All right, cool.
So I'm saying it to say, Rome wasn't built in a day, and Karl Anthony Towns' footwork won't be fixed in an off season. Absolutely not. But he needs to go to someone like a Kevin McHale, Shaquille O'Neal, somebody there that I would say maybe like a Kevin Garnett.
He can't go to Shaq.
I don't think he'll go to Shaq.
He can't learn from because what Shaq did.
Yeah. It was pure bullying.
No, for sure. The things that Shaq was able to do, he was naturally gifted in. But I'm talking about, and we're talking about like feet work and positioning. Shaq.
I've never really known Shaq
positioning. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just talking about Shaq can show him how to position himself in the post and be able to show him. I want like the basic hook, left hook, right hook. You know what I'm saying? I
feel like it would be easier.
I feel like he could have did that to Kyrie versus fading away on him. I'm not fading away on nobody.
Fading away on Kyrie
I'm
is
10
insane.
inches taller than.
That
I like be fading away on the baby.
That was insane. And he missed.
Here's the thing for me. Here's the thing for me.
I'm going face up.
It's not too late for Cat to develop a post game.
Right.
I mean,
No, it's not.
I seen a Paul Gasol before teaming up with Kobe, where it was kind of played like Cat.
Like Cat does.
He was really soft. You know, he started playing with.
Paul
Gasol got high level basketball IQ.
But you telling me?
But that wasn't. He wasn't translating on offense.
But what I'm saying, what I'm saying, he was soft.
Okay.
Everybody knew he was soft. Kobe toughened him up a whole lot.
They called him Paul Soft.
But by time Paul Gasol left playing with Kobe, he was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying post up. I'm saying if you get 10 touches a game,
he can
back to the basket, that would improve that team significantly. Jesus. If he would have been able to at least get 10 touches a game in this series, where he said, "Hey, we're gonna put your back to the basket, make them respect you."
Yeah,
that would have made a complete difference in this series.
Because
it was non-existent. They could never just say, "Hey, Cat, we're gonna put you in the back."
He was supposed to be a mismatch, and you're averaging 14 a game.
Yeah, because
what are we doing?
No, big facts. Both of you guys are dead on with this one. Because if Cat has it back to the basket, because you can tell, I think some of those fouls come because his offense isn't clicking.
Mm-hmm. Frustration.
So yeah, frustration. You start playing lazy,
shooting threes.
Absolutely. So, but if you're scoring, but buckets, we all know when you can score, you like to score, and if you can score, a lot of times for some people that starts to reflect on defense. So if your threes aren't falling and you can put your back to the basket, call for it here, boom, boom, I have my move.
Sometimes you just want to see it go in the basket.
Exactly. Then you're like, okay, it can translate here, and then you just see it keep going in, and you're like, oh, okay, I can step out a little bit, mid range, cook you there, because now you're worried about me having you on the block. or you get the help, and I got people cutting, so I can make the passes necessary now, and then step out to 3. And now by that time you've hit at the first 2 levels. Why not hit the 3? It's available now.
I feel like Cat.
That's easy to say.
So many times he bailed defenders out.
100%.
When the last time have Cat got somebody in foul trouble? And he's the type of player. He's got the skill set
to get everybody.
He got the skill set of when you see him, you should be like, man, I'm gonna lose sleep at night because this guy can shoot. He's very quick.
I agree with you so much.
He's not even trying.
I agree with
he's
you
not
so
even
much.
trying to post
It's so frustrating even having this conversation about somebody as talented as Cat. It's just like, man, it sucks. But I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, if New York called me and say, if y'all don't want Cat no more, we got Julius Randle for you. Man, I'm gonna say, hey,
that's not gonna
if
happen.
you throw in DiVincenzo in y'all draft pick this year, y'all might can get that boy.
Hey man, I know you want to see it happen, man. I just
you might get that boy.
Is that your Eastern Conference in New York?
Nah, I like I'm upgrading Minnesota.
How? How's that an upgrade to Minnesota?
I'm giving them a shooter and I'm giving them an All-NBA player.
But that's gonna clog up
2 spots.
That's gonna clog up the paint. That don't help Ant.
What the difference?
DiVincenzo does.
The difference between
Randle
and Cat to me is I can't even think of the word right now. The reason why I was having a brain fart, I was trying to think of the word I wanted to use. What's the word where you kind of you know yourself in a situation? Whatever that word is.
Sure of yourself?
I can't think of the word. It's a word. It wasn't a phrase. But I just feel like there's a level of just knowing yourself more with Julius Randle that just does not exist in Karl Anthony Towns. Because to me, where Julius Randle is right now, that's nothing but hard work and blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes, but I don't think Julius Randle could have done...
And he came back from a broken leg injury be an all-NBA player.
Yeah, but I don't think he could have done to Jokic what Cat did to Jokic. I don't think Julius Randle has that ability.
That's not what he would have been needed for. That would have been Nas, Reed, and Gobert. And I tag in on him from time to time.
Gobert was getting killed.
And then another reason he was getting killed. And another reason, I didn't even say this, mentality-wise, Julius Randle not soft. Julius Randle don't go for no play. Julius Randle defends his teammates. You're not going to be Karl Anthony Towns looking at Rudy Gobert get choked out by anybody. That's not happening. While Julius Randle is a teammate of yours.
Right.
And he can do from a skill set situation, he can step out and shoot threes. He can hit mid ranges. He has a myriad of packages that he has in the mid range, and on top of it, he has post moves.
Yes, but all this being said, though, Cat's still better.
But this is what you missed.
Not saying that he's not better.
But this is
not
what
saying that.
But all those things, Cat's
But this
still
is what this is what me and JB saying. If let's say if Julius Randle was playing with Minnesota, they don't make it past Denver.
Why not?
I don't think so.
Because he's undersized, and also
he's a natural.
And also Jokic is not going to respect Randle.
Julius Randle smack Jokic. What are you talking about?
Man, we both know. Like,
let me not make it violent.
Okay.
Let me not make it violent.
No. I'm just saying.
What I will say is this. It's just a different mentality that needs to be brought into that Minnesota locker room.
I will agree with that.
That does not require Cat services because Cat will just fake the funk. There's a reason why Jimmy Butler left because he didn't like Cat's mentality. Just imagine if Ant was there when Jimmy and Cat was there. Cat would have been gone. I guarantee you that much.
Yeah.
Cat would have been gone. It would have been Jimmy that would have been left. They were like, hold on. We got two guys with the same mentality. No. And then we got this one guy that's super talented, but he's soft as hell.
So that's why I would try to trade, and I don't know who, but I would trade Rudy and get somebody with that. Get somebody with that mentality.
You're not going to.
Get somebody with the I'll smack you mentality.
You're not going to.
Rudy.
You're not going to because Rudy's value, even though it's not supposed to be there, it's there. And the player comp that you will get for somebody that's there for Rudy is right here. And that's where the funk happens.
Send me a couple shooters.
You can't bridge. That does not bridge the gap.
It's enough
No. This is what happened. I need your whole entire future.
But here's the thing.
You know what Minnesota gave up for him? They gave up 4 first rounders.
Everybody makes mistakes.
But this is the reason why it won't happen, because the trade is upside down. Because Randall is not the talent that Carl Anthony Towns is. We all see the potential.
The money's there.
Carl Anthony Towns ain't that far away from being the player that we want him to be.
I mean, that kind of balances it out a little more, but I don't know. So, in the chat, as a matter of fact, in the chat, E, what do you want him to say?
Yeah, man, just let me know if you think that Carl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle, blockbuster trade. Tell me what y'all think about that. I know it sounds pretty far-fetched.
With DiVincenzo, too.
With DiVincenzo, and of course, this year's draft pick. I know it sounds pretty, like crazy or whatever for certain people, but just like kind of think about how that would benefit the Timberwolves moving forward, and then think about how that pick would benefit New York moving forward, and then just let me know something.
Man, bump that. Stop Rudy, 2024. All right, so
He gonna get Rudy right too. All that goofy stuff, all that lame stuff he be doing, he gonna cut that out. I'm telling you. Julius Randle not for play.
I don't know, because that man gets deep cooked like French fries.
Hey, Julius Randle took a team that should have never went to the second round to the second round. I remember that. Yes, you did lose. Yes, you did lose to Ice Trade the Gang.
Yeah.
You did lose to him. However,
I don't know, man. Rudy gets crossed like French bread. But anyway, okay. So, man, we gotta show Dallas some love. Those boys hoop.
they did.
They hoop. Kyrie hoop. Luka hoop. Like they gonna be tough in this finals against Boston. But my question is this, because this has been passed around the last couple of days. So we won't go with the best backcourt because they haven't won a championship yet.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that off. If they win a championship, then we can revisit that.
Okay.
Are they the most talented backcourt in the history of the NBA? Talent. Mook, what you got, bro?
Talent wise,
You look like you have an answer there.
of course, man. I do think they're a very formidable duo. I still got to give it to Steph and Klay.
Okay.
Not only because of the shooting ability, you got to talk about longevity, you got to talk about impact, and also championships. They changed the game forever. The way the game is played will never be the same, and that's credited to Steph and Klay. I got to give it to Steph and Klay. I don't see, even in the future, even if they win this championship, they got to at least win 3 for me to even say they the most talented.
You said talented or skilled?
Talented.
Talented.
Yeah, talented. What you got, bro? What you think?
I'm just going through.
Two guys
I'm
who could go.
just going through. I'm trying to go through the ones that don't got the resume of a Klay and stuff.
Isaiah and Joe. I'm pretty much gonna go with
I like
guys.
Isaiah and Joe, but
They not. He's not saying the best. He's saying the most talented.
But Isaiah and Joe, they both have a Finals MVP, right? Joe got the second one. Isaiah got the first one. They could both score, both play defense.
But for me, I wouldn't put them in the most talented. I would put them in the best because I only think it's three duos when you talking about like what I was talking about: impact, longevity, and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I would only put 3 guard combos in there.
Which 3?
I would put Steph and Klay.
Steph and Klay.
I would put Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher, and I would put Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars.
But Kobe had all the talent in the second one.
No, you talking about? I said best because we cannot.
I wouldn't even
talent.
We cannot forget because Derek Fisher made a lot of big shots, and
he made like
every
3.
championship that Kobe won, Derek Fisher was right there. We talking about best backcourt now.
Now, if we talking from a talent standpoint,
Yeah.
maybe it's the homer that's coming out of me, but I'm franchising Mobley.
Tito Mobley and Steve Francis.
For what? he didn't understand the question. Let's
hold on.
Now, no lie.
I'm being silly.
I was gonna say, because they could hoop.
But you know
Playing with him on NBA Live was crazy.
When Max said,
he
that
could
shot dollar, I felt like that's what that moment was right here.
Man.
I honestly, man, what's coming to me, and maybe because like I like poetry and motion in my backcourt versus just the high level scoring. The thing that comes to my mind, honestly, is Jason Kidd and Kevin Johnson. Really and truthfully, that's just that tempo that was pushed. The way both of them were great facilitators. One was a better scorer than the other, obviously, and they were both pretty decent defenders as well. And they were big guards too. They weren't like little guys. So that's what I think of in regards of from a talent standpoint. But I just wanted to give us like something that's just like kind of like that's not what we would consider in regards to the best or whatever the case may be. So that's what I say. I like that.
All right, so Pete. So we talk about the West. We already know Dallas got it done.
Yeah.
Most talented backcourt. We both got Steph and Clay. You got KJ and Kid.
There's other ones,
which is super respectful. So the big question, the reason why they played all the games during the regular season and the playoffs and the play-in and everything else, who do you have coming and holding up this trophy at the end of the year? Who do we have winning the NBA Finals? E, talk to me, bro.
I got Boston Celtics. That's what my heart is telling me. My heart is telling me.
And how many?
I'm gonna go with 6. I think we're gonna see Luka the most frustrated he's probably ever been in his career. But a part of me just think that they're gonna get it off. I don't know why. So maybe I might push it to 7. But a part of me just feels like.
But either way, Boston's winning.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly feel like they'll win a 6. But a part of me is like
it could be 7.
It could be 7.
Okay, we'll go more into it next week. Bro, talk to me, Mook. Mook Jones, what's up, bro?
Man, I'm gonna go with Dallas, man. Of course, I want Dallas. I already said Jaden and Tatum will never win.
I love that.
Hey, I'm not changing up. So let's go, Kyrie. Woo!
I love that you stay.
All right, so here's my thing. So either way, man, honestly, this one's hard. I've been thinking about this one all day. Like, who will really come out of this one with the trophy? And Boston, they have length, athleticism, guys who can hoop. Dallas has athleticism, guys who can hoop. Being able to switch. This is tough. I can honestly see this going 7. I'm not even really comfortable in my pick. Just laying it out there, but just Luka and Kyrie being able to take over and take turns scoring and be efficient while doing so, I'm leaning Dallas in 6. And Kyrie is out of this in this NBA Finals. Kyrie is my favorite player, like in this Finals. But even beyond that, just like being like, okay, Luka. He's going to cook the first 3 quarters, whatever. He might get whoever's guarding him, whether it's Tatum or Brown, in foul trouble. And then Kyrie at the end saying, none of y'all can guard me. Like, none of y'all can guard me. So, what's up?
Who's going to be the best player on the floor?
Luka or Kyrie? Probably Luka.
So you think it's Luka, Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum? That's how you think the order is?
In this series, for what's needed, I would say yes. Because while Tatum and Brown can probably fill up the box score more, like with the rebounds and assists, just getting like a higher number, just because of how they play and everything like that. The way that I think Luka's the best. He's the best player on the court. And then Luka, he can just flat out score, get him in foul trouble, everything like that. He's not a great two-way player, but in this playoffs he has been playing defense, so he's a good two-way player. And then Kyrie, you can't stop him. Like, you can frustrate him, slow him down for maybe a second or two, but as soon as it clicks back on, that faucet flows. So what you say, bro?
Man, like with this series, I'm very interested to see the matchups. Who's guarding who? Let me just, cause
that's gonna be huge.
I wanna keep my take integrity because I stand on what I stand on. But this Boston Celtics team is different. It's because of one player,
Drew,
and that's Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
I've seen Drew Holiday
switch.
take a player completely out of a game. I remember that series in New Orleans before Anthony Davis left, and he just eliminated Damian Lillard that series. And
him Rondo 2 turns.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
So this guy scares me to death. My take is really in trouble because of this guy, man. If this guy wasn't on this team, man, I would feel so much confident.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
But Drew, man, that's why I like that's why I hate when some of my favorite players get on teams I really don't like. Because I'm just scared that Drew is really gonna take the assignment of Kyrie Irving.
You don't like the city of Boston either?
No. No. But I just really feel like Drew is gonna take this assignment and he say, look, wherever he go, if he go to the bathroom, I'm right there. So, and I've seen when Drew keyed in on a player and he's getting in his bag on defense, to me, he could be the most crucial player of this series. Yeah. So I'm taking Dallas, but I'm telling you, Drew Holiday scares the lights out of me just because I know his own ball defense.
And I hear you say that. It's just, I've seen Kyrie dribble. That man, he knows everything that he's going to do. The ball's on the string. There's a difference between guarding Kyrie and Dame Lillard and Russ and whoever, like, because they play different. But with Kyrie, like, those little bumps and stuff and playing physical and trying to be on them, that doesn't affect him. Like, we saw him as a, 19-year-old practicing with the Olympic team. Practicing with the Olympic team and chopping all of them up, and all of them were trying to be physical. Yeah. So I just don't think it's gonna matter that much.
I beg to differ from the standpoint of these guys are just a little bit more stronger than what strength-wise what he had to deal with in Minnesota. I don't think no one here would think that Mike Conley is the strongest guy in the world. No one here would think Cat or Rudy Gobert. You might want to give maybe some credence to Jaden McDaniels. Maybe even give a little to Ant because he is built like an ox or whatever the case may be. But full time, I'm going to be guarding this individual. I feel like they're big enough and strong enough. And may I even say quick enough to stand in front of and take any shoulder or maybe even an elbow that might get thrown their way. I think it'll come down to like more of just Kyrie's elite timing of when he could probably make someone jump, when he can maybe spin through a double team. Maybe even trying to commit a foul or something like that. It'll probably have to come down to like sneaky veteran tactics versus like I can physically impose myself on you like I did the last batch of guys. I don't think that's going to be the same case here. I think that Kyrie's going to understand that, and I think he's going to play this game more. I think you're going to see a more intellectual version of Kyrie versus the physicality that he displayed in the last series.
Listen, all I know is Series 1 against OKC. Whatever. That was a series. Series 1 was against the Clippers. He did what he wanted to. Series 2 against OKC, he did what he wanted to. He played differently, but either way, he still, at the end of the day, did what he wanted to get the win. And this series against the T-Wolves did the same thing. I don't see it changing. But I think I have no reason to believe it will change.
But not to cut you off, but I just think this is a different animal when you talk about Drew Holiday. You talk about a seasoned vet. I'm talking about a player that's all NBA player. And also you got to realize that with him being a seasoned vet and being so good at this, the preparation is different. Yeah. He probably studied film different. And this is a guy that have seen Kyrie Irving through the years. I know you talk about Jaden McDaniels, you talk about Ant-Man. All of these guys are young. They haven't learned the art of defense yet. That's they still learning. You talking about Drew Holiday, man, where he knows, man. He knows how to count the dribbles. He knows when you get ready to set your moves up, and you get. He knows.
I feel like you can't really just count the dribbles with Kyrie.
But I'm saying
he count the dribbles, and then the dribble count will change.
But every player has tendencies.
That's veteran timing, though. That's all.
And that's one thing too. Every player like the tendencies of Kyrie Irving. He might be yes, of course it's easier said than done, but every great player have tendencies.
Absolutely.
And every great defender, they got a knack for knowing the tendencies.
Well, he's gonna have a heck of a time.
But I'm hoping he
knows tendencies because Kyrie has proven a lot of people like put whatever footage you want on me, but I can work with either hand. If you want me to go left the entire game, I'll go left. If you want me to go right the entire game, I could go right.
Drew Holiday is like that.
Use your pick.
Final boss, though. He is. He's like that final boss where like you lose maybe 3 or 4 times, and then you catch like the timing of what he's doing to be like, oh, okay, bet. That's why I just think it's just gonna be a more intellectual game. It's gonna be a whole chess match.
For sure. I can definitely agree with that.
And now that you said
it's gonna be a hard set.
It's funny because the metaphor I think in my mind when he was saying that, you know how you go in the video game, you got hard, you got easy,
novice,
medium, hard, very hard, expert. You know,
right? That's what it's gonna be.
So every
Holiday.
It's like every level he's been going now. You going against Drew Holiday, it's like you at that expert level now, so it's gonna be much harder. It's like fighting Shao Kahn at the top of the board when you playing Mortal Kombat. I know a lot of kids don't know nothing about that now that younger generation, but
man, I hear what y'all saying. Kyrie is proven.
But I'm going for Dallas.
He's not new to this. Dallas. He's true to this. But y'all tell us in the comments who y'all think's gonna win.
Absolutely.
Boston, Dallas, and how many. We're gonna reply to you in the comments. We're gonna talk a little smack. Don't take it to heart. Do take it to heart. It don't matter. We're the voice of the people anyway.
Yeah,
so hit us up in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, tag your friends, family, all that. Be back here next week. We appreciate y'all. Pull up again. Nothing nice. Got my boy Ian Mook. We appreciate you.
Love.